When you look at me, would you ever think foster kid or troubled youth? I was both. Today, the number of kids being dumped into foster care is staggering, 510,000, and that number is climbing. The system is not prepared or set up to handle these kinds of numbers. In fact, it is broken. Irreversible changes immediately stunt and cut the child's life into before and after being put into foster care. What not finding the mythical forever family does to the child's psyche. The reality of aging out of the broken system. Being taken, a term adopted by foster children all over the world. It isn't the saving grace that adults try to make it out to be, despite the reasons involved. Valid or not, it splits the child into two halves, before and after. Entering a broken system and its effect on the child. Foster care was set up as a temporary answer to a growing need back in the mid-1800s, updated over time within its dizzying checks and balances of workers, counselors, psychologists, and child advocates. There are temporary homes, foster homes, and hardcore homes, and facilities, and juvenile facilities that rate just under being sent to an actual lockup. There are not enough beds to fit the need, let alone the resources to keep up the level of quality care and observance of these types of kids' need. Every year, the rate of abuse and or death increases. Every year, more and more children are either stacked 4 or more to a room, shuffled into living full-time at facilities reserved for hardcore behavioral issues and juvenile delinquency. Life with the birth parents is usually already stacked the decks against these children, but living under these conditions makes it virtually impossible to have a healthy childhood. Most foster children are trapped in their emotional baggage with attachment disorders or varied learning disabilities. Some never grow to escape the age they entered at and mentally stay that child. Being brought up in a jail-like environment has proven to stunt a child's mental growth and develop feral-type behavior, striking out first, trust issues, stealing, and gang bonding, just to name a few. Like orphans, every foster kid dreams of having a forever family. A family that will love you and keep you no matter what you do or what happens in their lives. The sad fact is an orphan is more likely to find that rare stability before a foster child does. Foster children are in a constant catch-22. Difficulties finding the forever family range from exhausting procedures that find parents giving up, kids being placed back into dangerous situations, or foster parents just being denied ability to get guardianship or adopt the kids before being moved again. The kid also have to have a squeaky clean record and be allowed for adoption or guardianship. This is problematic since the same kid usually has been institutionalized, abused, used drugs, expressed serious behaviors, and emotional shutdown. If by some rarity the child has mementos from the past, like photos, toys, they're usually lost in the moving from home to home. Their stuff dumped in trash bags by workers or fosters who don't know the meaning behind the treasured item, which sets off behaviors, trust issues, and all kinds of things to continue this never-ending cycle. Not finding that one golden family will take you just as you are breaks you down. You become stuck in an unending cycle of self-abuse that can and usually does lead to self-mutilation like cutting, eating disorders, major drug abuse, and for a growing number, suicide. You, you start not just to think but believe there's something majorly wrong with you, that you do not deserve to be loved or wanted. You close yourself off and live to blank out or numb out. You trust no one, not even yourself. Aging out of the system that hasn't even begun to prepare you for life is the worst fear and part of being a foster kid. You don't have life skills. Most foster parents either collect or check, or don't even think in the future of the eyes of the child. You've probably never had a job. It would lower the check, and you've never had a bank account or paid bills. You're lucky if you speak a level above street English, or even have any type of skills to get a low-rung job. And more than likely, you didn't graduate high school or even junior high. Reality is, most foster kids who age out at 18 die on the streets, overdose, gangs, crime, or suicide. In conclusion, foster care as a system is broken. The child's life is immediately cut into two halves, before and after, which makes an already hard battle nearly impossible to beat with a system that cannot handle the numbers. Not finding a forever family puts a child into a downward spiral that leads to serious consequences. Aging out without the basic life skills one needs to succeed as an adult continues the cycle of abuse and system failure generation after generation. Unlike most I grew up with, and my own 5 siblings, I happen to be one of the 4% who made it. I nearly gave up on all hope when I found my forever family late in life. After nearly a decade of bouncing in and out of homes, major facilities, my father couldn't get me back before his death, despite jumping through all the hoops. And unlike the lucky 2 of my siblings, I didn't get adopted until I was 16. The other 3 just bounced around. I am the only one of us who hasn't been in jail, seriously abused drugs, and alcohol. I have a happy life now with my husband and 2 children, Dove and Coda. My goal in life is to raise them in love and get my degree in social work, so that I may help other foster kids break the cycle and reform the system.